Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now, your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe, your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time.
Yeah. Woo! Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Clap.
Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh.
Everybody just have a good time.
I can feel it.
And we gon' make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
We just wanna see you
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock raw. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, opened up.
Yeah, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Yo,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
feel it,
And we
baby.
gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you
Shake that.
Corner of the net. That is a Carrow Road classic. Space here for Coco, and he'll go for goal. Oh wow! How good is he? 17 years old, and he just keeps on coming up with magnificent.
Guys, today Wayne Dyer shares one of my favorite quotes from him or thoughts from him, and that is change the way you look at things. And he goes on to give us an example of the science behind this. He talks about Albert Einstein, who once basically asked a question, and it's the most fundamental question that we should ask ourselves. Is the universe a friendly place or is it a hostile place? Two very clear questions, and the way we answer that question is going to determine the course of our life, how we view things. So the way you look at something will change that very thing. And it's so true. If we look at our lives, as being meaningful, purposeful, positive, and impactful, well, that's what's going to happen with all the events around us. So it's up to us. How do you look at your life? Think about it. Have a good morning, everyone.
I've learned in my life, and many of you have too, everything's about intention. Like, what is the intention of my communication with this person? And I believe there's 3 intentions we have to set. Okay, so this is what my idea is. You got to set intention for learning, honoring, and improving. Okay, this is all one point, so please write this down. Set an intention for learning, honoring, and improving. This is my modus operandi when I sit down with somebody. My whole thing in sitting down with people, and this is not just my coaching career, this is life. Like, if we go to like breakfast together, right? Go to lunch together, hang out. My whole mode is I want to learn about this person. Notice I don't say, I want to show I'm awesome. No, I want to learn about this person. Meaning, has learning been your primary mode of operation with your spouse recently? Has learning been your primary mode of operation with that team member? Has learning been your primary mode of operation in communicating to groups? Or when you're talking with your partner or the person who you love, is it always just about you got to tell them what you need? You got to tell them what the to-do list is. You got to tell them what the agenda is. And you live in communication land that is what I call agenda-based, not learning-based. Some people only talk at their kids. We're doing this, 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 and this, and this. But they never learn from their kids. So it's a different relationship, right? Agenda-based communication, which is usually to-do list, what are we doing, where we're going, versus the first primary thing is learning. And I think this is so important. If we can just shift everything. Listen, I always tell people, listening skills without the very primary intention of learning is just a tactic. Does that make sense? I know in like junior varsity levels of conversation about communication, be a great listener. Well, what does that mean? Well, the intention is to learn. Listening is one of the vehicles for that. Anybody? Anybody? Can I get an amen on a Sunday? We got to learn from each other again and be open to learning from each other instead of going at each other with our political agenda, going at each other with our to-do list, going to each other with our value ethic. Like, we stopped learning from each other as a culture, and that's how you get tribalism and division at the epic levels we face worldwide now. Because the intention to learn from another went out the window, and the intention to persuade or argue at or accuse other people went up, right? So let's remember, setting the intention for learning. Think about this. If your umbrella intention is to have ambition, I want great relationships and I want to learn from others, that frames every method, every tactic, and every principle underneath. Okay, learning, here's the other one, honoring. I love this one. Very few people talk about this, so I think it's important. In a relationship, in your communication style should be honoring of other people. What does that mean? Honoring means you hear what they say, you reflect it back, you honor that. That's a great idea. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. I really value that you shared that. I respect that you're participating right now. I'm thankful that we're having this conversation. Also saying very simple things like, I appreciate you did this. Good job at that. honoring the other person so they feel heard, valued, respected, and appreciated. Honoring the other person so they feel heard, valued, respected, and appreciated. That's like everything, right? How good have you been at honoring your partner, your spouse, persons that you care about? If your parents are around, have you been speaking to them and honoring their difficulties this year? The people who you love in your life, your family, have you been honoring their unique and difficult journey through what is a crazy and wild year? I mean, think about your last 10 major conversations. Were you honoring of the other? Now, my bet is in our community here, you do. But this is a very key principle. In your communication patterns with other people, is learning there as your intention, is honoring the other there as intention. Even when I go into a place where I know I'm gonna have a conflict with someone, my whole mindset shifts. Make sure they feel honored and respected in this process. Make sure they feel that. Honor them for showing up, honor them for trying, honor them for a good job when they do a good job, honor them for sharing their voice, honor them for participating, honor them for giving you the time of day. Really, like if we can remember the value of each relationship, everything can change. All right, so our intention is for learning, honoring, and the last thing is improving. You want the most advanced communication skill in the history of the world? Try to improve another person's day. Try to improve another person's day. Listen to what they're saying and try to ask questions or give advice when it's sought or share an idea to help them improve their situation, their day, their feeling, their mindset. My mode is whoever is here, I am here to be of service. Whoever's in front of me, I'm going to try to really learn about them, to honor them as a person, and to help them reach whatever goals that they're after, right? You've heard me say that in my mission statement forever. It's like to help people achieve their goals faster. That's just part of the conversation with me. And I think that's given me great skills with other people because it's taught me how to listen for what they want. So this one, I know I'm belaboring this point, but I think this is so important. You've got to set that intention. I'm going to learn here. I'm going to honor this person. I'm going to help this person improve. I'm going to learn here, honor this person, help them improve. Learn here, honor this person, help them improve. That little triangle of goodness is running in my brain all the time. And that helps me, right? I don't always get it right. I'm not a perfect communicator, but I think I get paid at the level I do as a coach. I think I have the depth of relationship with my family and my friends the way that I do because these things are my value ethic. Don't always get it right. Plenty of time, just like you, I can be in a hurry. Plenty of time, just like you, I've got an agenda. Plenty of time, just like anybody else. We don't always understand people, appreciate them, agree with them. That's okay. But when I lead with these things, I want a great relationship with this person. So I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna honor them, I'm gonna serve them. From that perspective, my odds of having great relationships are way high.
bubbly bubbly bum 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 bubbly be 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 bubbly bubbly bum bubble bubble bubble. Alright, make way when you see me pass through and they come with me too. You don't know what to do. Drinks up, hands up, everything in the air. Everybody done drunk, there's a party over here. That's right, we drink just bubbling. Watch how we wine while the DJ juggling. He got the whole dance floor just bubbling. Champagne bottle just popping. We going on, I guess the night we not stopping. Let's party hard tonight. So going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Couple up this party going for a fight. Bring drinks, we don't care, we go down.
Moments in a Dortmund shirt.
Good afternoon, guys. One of the things we have to understand about ourselves, because it affects everything, is what's at our center. What are we centered on in life? And what I have found, and what I have read about, and what I have thought about and seen over and over again, is that the happiest people, or the most successful people, are centered on correct principles. And that's what we have to center our life on. We cannot center our life on anything outside of us, not even people. And I know it might seem selfish. It might sound like, you know, how can that be? Especially when we're involved in intimate relationships or just close relationships with our family members. But we have to center on correct principles because those are the things that are within all of us anyhow. And so if we do that, we become the best we can be for them, as for ourselves as well. Hope this helps everyone. Have a great afternoon.
The movie The Matrix, everyone thinks science fiction. I go, no, that's a documentary. Everybody got programmed. That's a fact. That's a biological reality. Right. But what was interesting, they always say, well, there's a red pill, and if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. And I go, guess what? Almost everybody in our audience has taken that red pill at one time, changed their life. It turns out science has recognized that when you fall in love, you stop playing the programs and you start creating from your conscious mind. Wishes and desires are conscious mind. And so once you let go of the program and you start creating wishes and desires, it's called the honeymoon. Created this heaven on earth experience. And I go, you could have that every day for every day of your whole life. Yes. Because we created that. And if you understand you created, then you can say, well, why didn't I create it tomorrow? And I go, you can create it every day. That's the beautiful part. Hi, I'm Bruce Lipton, author of the best-selling books, The Biology of Belief, Spontaneous Evolution, and The Honeymoon Effect. I'm here to thank Evan Carmichael for featuring me on his YouTube channel. And I want to let you know that Evan is giving away links where you can watch the first episodes of my special Gaia series entitled Inner Evolution for free. Evan is making this offer to thank you for watching this video. You will find the links in the description section below. Thank you.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn how you can manifest your future. Enjoy.
Here is a practical technique. The first thing you do, you must know exactly what you want in this world. When you know exactly what you want, make as lifelike a representation as possible. Suppose I wanted a home, but I had no money, but I still know what I want. Without taking anything into consideration, I would make as lifelike a representation of the home that I would like, with all the things in it that I would want. And then, this night, as I would go to bed, I would, in a drowsy, sleepy state, I would imagine that I am actually in such a house. That were I to step off the bed, I would step upon the floor of that house. Were I to leave this room, I would enter the room that is adjacent to my imagined room in that house. And while I am touching the furniture and feeling it to be solidly real, And while I am moving from one room to the other in my imaginary house, I would go sound asleep in that state. And I know that in a way I could not consciously devise, I would realize my house. I have seen it work time and time again. If I wanted promotion in my business, I would ask myself what additional responsibilities would be mine were I to be given this great promotion. And then in my imagination, I would begin to see and touch and do and act as I would outwardly see and touch and act were I in that position.
Rule number 3 is change your old personality with Joe Dispenza.
How you think and how you feel creates your state of being. If you take a thought and a feeling, 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 that's called an attitude. A series of good thoughts with a series of good feelings, you say, I have a good attitude today. You have a series of negative thoughts that are connected to a series of negative feelings, you say, I have a bad attitude today. So attitudes are just shortened states of being. Good attitude in the morning, bad attitude in the afternoon. If you take an attitude, an attitude, an attitude, and you keep those up, and you string attitudes together, you create what's called a belief. And a belief is just an extended state of being. So if you keep thinking the same thought, you keep hardwiring it in the brain, you keep feeling the same feeling, you keep conditioning in your body, the redundancy of that cycle over and over again conditions the body to subconsciously become the mind of that belief. And all beliefs are subconscious states of being. Okay. Take a belief, a belief, a belief, and you string them together, you form what's called a perception. And perceptions are just such extended states of being that we're unconscious. And so then we edit out reality. In fact, most people don't see things the way they are. They see things the way they are, right? And people are always filling in reality unconsciously based on their memory. They could be married to a person for 40 years and they don't see the person, they see the memory of the person, right? And there's research to prove this, okay? So how do we change a belief or perception about ourselves for our lives, okay? We've studied this. Okay, let's just say that lack is ingrained in there. You got the story, you lived on the streets, you lost everything, you got betrayed, your business partner took everything, took your wife, you got the story in the half, okay? Okay, you gotta start telling a new story of the future, right? You gotta believe in that future more than you have to believe in the past. So how do you do that? You only believe in the past when you feel the emotions of the past. The only time you're gonna believe in the future is when you feel the emotions of the future, right? Okay, so in order for us to change a belief or perception about ourselves and our lives, we have to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. And your body literally has to respond to your mind. That the choice that you're making to change in that moment becomes a moment in time that you never forget. Now here's the key. Physically, the stronger the emotion you feel when you make that choice, the more you'll remember the decision. Okay, so then how do we down-regulate that old belief? If the trauma created an emotional quotient of 6 or 7, then your decision to change your beliefs got to be a 9. Right. And you got to come out of your resting state, and that moment has to define you. You could say, I know exactly where I was, the time and day it was, who I was with, when I made my mind up to change, right? Because you created a long-term memory. Long-term memories are created from strong emotion, right? But if the amplitude of that emotion is greater than the betrayal, boom, the body starts responding to the mind, and you're actually giving your body a taste of the future emotionally. So you brand your... What's possible. No, your body's actually getting the taste of that future event. It's experiencing the future now. Exactly. Big explosion in the quantum field. Big explosion. So the side effect of that is if you combine that clear intention with that elevated emotion, you're basically remembering your future, and it looks no different than remembering your past. Think neurologically within the circuits of that memory and feel within the emotions of that new belief and watch your life begin to change, because nothing changes in our life that we change. And when we change our energy, we change our life. So now the experiment all of a sudden is no longer based on it being hard or trying or wishing or wanting or hoping. That's what we do when we're in lack or separation. It's about change. So then when we finally realize, in order for us to become abundant, we have to overcome the old personality.
Rule number 4 is improve your awareness with Eckhart Tolle.
in this world, dealing with things, creating things, achieving things. And being is about being aware of the present moment. Which, after all, is all you ever have. Whatever you achieve through becoming in the future eventually turns into the present moment. So as I speak to you, the meditation, if we even want to call it that, it's perhaps best to forget about the word. As I speak, be aware of the silence or the stillness between the words. Being aware means just notice that it's there. It's very simple. So you notice that in addition to the words, there's another dimension that is easily overlooked, and that's the dimension of stillness, which we could also call space or spaciousness. So when you notice that there are two, so to speak, two dimensions here, the dimension of words, which you hear and which then become thoughts in your head, and the dimension of no thing, spaciousness. And you just notice, that's all that's required, that there is that dimension also present, so you notice it in between words and even behind the words, so to speak. Now when you notice it, what happens inside you? What does it mean to notice the stillness? Be aware of the stillness. It means you have become still inside. It means you're conscious, but at that moment, at this moment, you're not thinking. But you're alert, present, completely here. not thinking. So that's the realization of the dimension of depth within you.
Rule number 5 is practice proper manifestation with Gabby Bernstein.
alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Mignan raccoglie facilmente, non c'era nessuno sotto porta a proporsi. Teo Hernandez riparte veloce, evita Milinkovic Savic, si accentra alla sua maniera. Teo Hernandez vede la porta, calcia! Teo Hernandez, un gol brevettato dal francese, riparte dalla difesa e va dall'altra parte a rievocare il suo stesso gol della scorsa stagione contro l'Atalanta.
Good evening, guys. I want to share with you a funny personal story. So you guys know that I'm trying to provide as much positive thought energy by spreading it, spreading my mission, my life mission, and I'm really excited about it. I really want to do the best I can with it, with what I have and what I know, but I make mistakes, and I have to laugh at this one. Last week, my friend Zach, YouTube friend Zach, reminded me that there are a lot of things that I'm perhaps not doing the right way or following the rules, so to speak. But I've been sending a message, and yeah, it's been a standard message that I'm trying to show my support for people that are spreading positive thought energy. But Zach was telling me that it's been identified as spam on YouTube, and I thought, this is hilarious. I said, again, this is an example. I don't know my how, but I know my why. My why is good. It's strong. It's pure. It's right. But I make mistakes, and we can laugh at it. Have a great evening, everyone.
I've been a practicing medical doctor now for over 2 decades, and I would say that one of the commonest problems I've seen, and a problem that is rapidly increasing, is many people coming in saying, I can't sleep, doctor, can you help me?
I think the biggest problem is most people are half asleep during the day when they're awake. To become more awake to life is more important. If you become more awake to life, sleeping when it's needed for the body, because sleeping is the downtime for the body to kind of undo itself and also do itself fresh. This is happening all the time. Sleep is a kind of a downtime, both the hardware that we have and the software that we have. Hardware will go into a certain level of fatigue that it needs to recoup itself. And the software also goes into a different kind of fatigue where software being more nebulous kind of substance can lose its form.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Sadhguru, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
So sleep is a time to recoup that, not necessarily making it the same form, but it can come out with a new form. Every day a flower blossoms, no flower looks the same as its another flower. Even in the same plant, if 1,000 flowers come out, no flower looks exactly the same. This is the nature of sleep. Every day when you sleep and wake up, you don't have to wake up as the same person. You don't have to wake up exactly same software. Unfortunately, people are thinking that's a great virtue, that always I remain the same. No, you must blossom into fresh possibilities. Sleep could be used as a tool to rejuvenate yourself, to transform yourself, to become an absolutely new possibility. But right now, it is, people, because they're in a state, a lot of people are in a state of lack of physical activity. And on the level of the mind, I'm sorry I'm using such a term, but it's a mental diarrhea through the day. So in the night, they can't stop it. See, if you have physical diarrhea, you can't stop it in the night. Even in the night, you'll have to wake up. This is what mind is doing. What is important is lot of people today, if they don't know any other more subtle way of doing things, the simple thing to do is increase the physical activity and reduce the mental activity. How do I reduce the mental activity? If you invest more in perception and less in expression, your mental activity will naturally come down. Right now, this generation of people are too much expression, hardly any perception.
Rule number 2 is listen to your body.
You listen to what your body is speaking, whether I should eat today or not. Your body will tell you. There is a massive… you come from an Indian background, so I'm telling you. In India, there is a traditional understanding on which days you must eat, which days you should not eat. Moon is in a certain phase. On that day, we won't eat, we'll be just on fruit diet. If we can fast, we will fast. Otherwise, we are on fruit diet. Otherwise, essentially the idea is, on that day you must be in light stomach because your digestive process is not the same on that day. These are things that will come to you by observation. There is no observation, everything is gathered knowledge. See, we are misunderstanding information for intelligence. This is a serious mistake. Information is not intelligence. Information is data, and the data for you're a medical professional, you know this very well. The data for your body and the data for my body will be entirely different on many levels. And you are the expert and you say this is it, and I am the expert, I say that is it. This is not the way. There is no this is it, that is it. Yeah. The only thing is, you must become more awake, not asleep. Because sleep is the problem right now. For me, getting people to a higher level of wakefulness is the problem. Yeah. If everybody is fully awake, they would realize what's happening in their system. Have they ever paid attention to what is happening, whether the stomach is ready to take in food or not? Right now, we are still behaving like foraging animals. Whenever food comes in front of us, we must eat. Yeah. So that has to go. Yeah. It is not you must eat this, you must not eat that. The important thing is, you must just… this is a litmus test for people. If you eat food, immediately after food, yeah, right now, see, they have fixed this in America, when they serve you a platter of food, along with that, a bucket full of Coca-Cola or one of those brands, which is essentially Coke, will come. Otherwise, a bucket full of coffee will come. I'm saying a bucket because I don't see any tumblers and glasses, cups in America. It's all buckets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I really do, yeah.
So when this bucket comes and you drink this, if you don't drink that, most probably you will fall asleep right there on the table.
Yeah.
Because the food is so dull, so full of inertia. When I say so full of inertia, almost everything that… it is not only in a restaurant or something, almost at homes also, the food that most people are eating. I'm talking about well-to-do people, I'm not talking about homeless people on the street. well-to-do people are generally eating an average of 60 to 90-day-old food on a daily basis. In southern India, even today, it's generally followed in yogic culture. Any food that we cook, we must eat within 1.5 hours. After that, we won't touch it, because it will gather what is called as tamas. Tamas literally means inertia. Inertia, ultimate level of inertia in you is death. Partial inertia is coma or sleep. Is that what you want? You want aliveness, you want dynamism in every cell in your body. If that has to come, you eat food and just observe. No other stimulant, just observe. If they don't drink a coffee or a Coke or light up a cigarette, they can't stay awake.
Yeah.
You just sit there. If you feel drowsy, you have not eaten the wrong food. If you eat food and you feel very alive, that's the right food to eat.
Rule number 3 is learn about karma.
And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. Where it all begins and never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. That we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings.